Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video, and I'm really excited to have you here, and especially for another video when it comes to our journey in Linux. Now this video is going to be special because in this video I'm going to teach you guys a trick that I used in order to deploy Linux to a large amount of systems. And I remember back then I used to struggle by putting in CDs. Now I know you guys probably laugh because who the heck uses CDs nowadays, but back in the days, we used to use CDs in order to deploy Linux on multiple machines. You put the CD in the CD-ROM drive, and then of course you installed. And that's especially if you worked in organizations that didn't have any type of automation whatsoever. So you can use what you learned today in order to automate the deployment of Linux, and specifically we're working with RHEL. Now, as you can probably tell, I am not at home base right now. We are currently traveling. But still, I wanted to make sure that I get this video out to you guys because this little trick is very, very crucial for you to be successful, especially when you start to deploy large amounts of systems, especially if you're working with RHEL. Now, if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. We'd love to have you here. This channel talks all things engineering, tech, and finances. And by the way, for my returning subscribers, I love you guys. I appreciate you. And if this video provides value, because I'm telling you guys, it is a lot of work in order to put these videos up so that way you can save time on trying to figure this stuff out. But if it helps you out, go ahead and give me a like for the video as it helps the channel grow. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos to the channel. And lastly, of course, go ahead and share this with a family member or friend. So let's talk a little bit about the setup. I have two laptops. And you guys have seen my laptop that I've used before on this channel, and this is a Dell XPS 9520. And this guy is running Windows 11. And the reason why we're going to use this laptop is going to prepare our installation media. And the installation media that we're going to be using is a USB drive. Now, I have with me over here a USB 3.0. And it's a type A on one side, and if you flip it around, it's a type C on the other side. And it's 256 gigabytes. Now, you don't need anything this big. Preferably, maybe something around 16 gigs would be more than fine. So here we have a Lenovo ThinkPad that I'm going to be using in order to install RHEL 8.10 on there. So with the setup information out of the way, let's head over to the Dell XPS desktop. I'm going to show you guys how to prepare the installation media. And then after we're done with that, I'm going to show you guys how to automatically deploy RHEL. And specifically, I'm using a Lenovo ThinkPad. Again, you can use any other PC or you can use a virtual machine in order to do this. But for demonstration purposes, we're going to use this Lenovo ThinkPad. So let's head over to the desktop. So welcome to my desktop. And again, we are on my Dell XPS 9520 running Windows 11. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to prepare our RHEL installation media so that way we can do our automatic RHEL deployment. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our web browser, and in my particular case I use Brave. In order to make this process simple, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and get the Fedora Media Writer tool. Now, in order to get the Fedora Media Writer tool, we got to head over to fedoraproject.org. Now, once we are here, we can click this option that says Get Fedora. Under the Get Fedora section, there is an addition sections that we're under right now. And let's go ahead and click the server option. Now, here we are where it says Fedora server. I'm going to go ahead and click Download Now. And I'm not really interested, again, in the Fedora Server 41 that you're currently seeing. What I'm interested in is the Fedora Media Write tool. And the Fedora Media Write tool is under this section where it says Download Fedora Server 41. And here we are where it says Fedora Media Writer. And of course, because we are using Windows, I'm going to go under the section that says Windows and Mac, and I'm going to go ahead and click Download. Now this brings us to a GitHub repository. And from here, we want to make sure, especially for Windows, that we click on this Fedora Media Writer Win64 523.exe. So let's go ahead and click that guy. Now it asks us where do we want to save the executable, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my downloads directory. Once you are done downloading and installing the Fedora Media Writer, you should, upon launch, get a window like such. And if you currently have this set up and this window up after you launch it, congratulations, you're all set with the Fedora Media Writer. So let's go ahead and put this off to the side, and let's focus on the next thing that we're going to need, and that is downloading a copy of RHEL And specifically, we're going to use RHEL 8. And I'm going to focus on the latest version of RHEL 8. And specifically, as of this recording, it's RHEL 8.10. So from here, we're going to open up a new tab. And then next, we're going to head over to access.redhat.com. So now that we are on access.redhat.com, let's go ahead and click the downloads button over here. And you're going to see a list of products. And again, we are specifically interested in RHEL or Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So let's click that. Now it's asking you to log into your Red Hat account. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. You do the same for your account. Now that I'm logged into access.redhat.com, I am now in the customer portal. And then I can go ahead and scroll down to where it says offline install images. That is what I'm most concerned with. And I'm going to go ahead and download the latest RHEL 8, which happens to be RHEL 8.10. And it is this option that is right over here. And it says RHEL 8.10 binary DVD. So let's go ahead and click download. And as you can see, I've actually already downloaded RHEL 8.10 in the past. So it's already sitting on my downloads directory. But in your case, you're going to be presented with this window if you've never downloaded it before. And it's going to ask you to save it to a directory. So it's okay to leave it in the downloads directory. So you can just go ahead and hit save. But in my case, we've already done that. So let's just go ahead and hit cancel here. Now with those two items out of the way, congratulations. You have everything you need in order to create your own installation media, especially on a USB stick. So let's go ahead and minimize our web browser. Let's bring in our Fedora Media Writer. Now with the Fedora Media Writer up and running, what we do now is we take our USB flash drive and we go ahead and plug it into our machine. So with our USB drive connected to our computer, Fedora Media Writer has seen that USB, and you can see that because it gives you the Restore USB SanDisk. I have a SanDisk, and of course I mentioned this before, 256 gigs, but it's actually a little bit smaller once you format it, so it shows only as 250. So the next step from here is clicking select an ISO file. Let's go ahead and click next. Now under the right options, let's make sure that our USB drive is selected. So in my particular case, I am using a SanDisk USB. Make sure you change yours accordingly. You don't want to mistakenly overwrite a USB that has important information on there, so go ahead and make sure you choose the right USB drive. Now under the selected file, let's click the select option. Now as I mentioned earlier, I did download RHEL 8.10 earlier on in the week, so I do have it in my downloads directory, so make sure you find where your RHEL 8.10 is, and if you follow the steps, it should be in your downloads directory. So let's go ahead and click RHEL 8.10. So I have my file selected, I have the USB drive selected. All I have to do now is hit write. Now we just wait for the tool to automatically resize our USB drive and go ahead and burn that DVD ISO of RHEL 8.10 to the USB drive. If you have reached the screen where it says finished, congratulations. You are at the point now where you have created your own RHEL 8.10 installation media on a USB drive. So let's go ahead and hit finish here. And now we can just remove the USB drive from the computer. So at this point, we're all set to go ahead and install RHEL 8.10 on our Lenovo ThinkPad. And of course, I'm going to show you guys how to automate that process. So let's head now to the Lenovo laptop. So here we are at our Lenovo ThinkPad, and we're going to take the USB drive that we prepared from our last step, and we're going to plug it into the computer itself. And once we're done plugging in the USB drive that has RHEL 8.10 on there, we can now go ahead and power on the Lenovo laptop. And once we power on the Lenovo laptop, in this particular machine, we have to repeatedly press F12, and doing that brings up what is called the temporary boot order. And this will show us the boot options that are available to us, and we want to make sure that we pick the USB drive that we prepared in our previous section. Once you boot off of the USB drive, you are presented with this menu. You want to make sure you go ahead and click the option that says Kickstart Install RHEL 8.10. And of course, RHEL is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So let's go ahead and click that option. All we got to do is kick back, relax, let the computer do its job, and it will automatically install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.10. At this point, we can go hang out at the couch playing some Nintendo Switch. Maybe you decide you want to go ahead and take a nap. The choice is up to you. The computer at this point will automatically deploy RHEL, and you don't have to sit there babysitting these menus that come up whenever you're installing RHEL, which is phenomenal because that frees up your time to go do something else. So welcome back everyone. By now, you should all be experts in automatically deploying RHEL using a USB flash drive. Now, if you found this content to be helpful, go ahead and give me a like for the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share this with a family member or a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. I threw you guys a curveball. Clearly, you're not ready in order to be able to automatically deploy RHEL using a USB flash drive. There was a lot of information that I left out, and especially how do you prepare the media properly. You guys just saw the end product. Now, in an effort to make sure that this video doesn't turn out to be so massive, I decided to break it up into several parts. But what I will tell you is that if you follow this video to a T, you actually completed one of the steps in order to get you to the final product, which is what you saw earlier. Now, stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be additional videos that I release that will actually walk you through the entire process. But just know for now, you've completed part 1 successfully. Now, don't rip me to shreds in the comments. I get it, right? You all want to complete it within one video, but there is a lot of information. And as I mentioned before, I really want to make sure that nobody makes a mistake, especially when setting up this USB drive. There's a lot of steps to it, so it only made sense to split it up into multiple videos. So with that being said, truly and honestly, signing off, guys. I genuinely appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And of course, go ahead and like the video, as it helps the channel grow. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that way you're notified whenever I upload that new video that walks you through the rest of the way. You don't want to miss that. And also as well, share this with a family member or friend. I will see you all in the next one.